Hello everyone, it's Imran here. Welcome back to another video. So I'm going to react to another Thomas audio story by Kiefer Adams, and this one is the latest one that was uploaded this past Sunday, September 24th. And this one, I'm quite looking forward to, but this one is Arthur's Tricky Travels. So like I said, this was the newest one that was uploaded on this past Sunday it was. And what I'm excited about, the last audio story I reacted to just now was the Golden Oldies audio story by Kiefer. You want to go check that out, and I'll make sure to have it up in the top right corner of your screen. Whew. But this one I'm really looking excited to. So those of you in the UK are familiar with the Thomas UK DVD release by 2 Entertainment in 2006 and Hit Entertainment in 2006 called Little Angels Big Days Out. I'm pretty sure you all would have noticed the learning segment that was part of a bonus feature in that Series 9 DVD was called Arthur's Tricky Travels. And basically, what was I going to say? Basically, what that story was about, not the story, sorry, the game was about, was that Arthur had to pick up some of Henry's special coal from Brendam Docks, but he kept just running into obstacles, and you as the player had to work out which friend or vehicle would have to, remove it. You'd have to remove it, and obviously there were right and wrong answers that there were right there. So yeah. So this one is based off that Series 9 game or learning segment, whatever you like to call it. And this one, it features Arthur, which I feel like is pretty one of the most underrated characters that was introduced during the Gullane era right there. So yeah, I really do wish that Arthur did get some more screen time in the TVS. I mean, he did get 2 episodes in Series 7 and 1 episode in Series 8, as well as a few cameo appearances in both Series 11 and 12. But yeah, the fact that Kiefer's managed to make a story based off a learning segment from a DVD game, it's quite extraordinary of how Kiefer's able to write his stories. But yeah, this one I'm definitely looking forward to be reacting to. So yeah, link to the video I'm reacting to in the description down below as always. So without further ado, let's not waste any more time and get straight into this audio story I've been looking forward to be reacting to right here.
Arthur's Tricky Travels, written and told by Kiefer Adams. Thomas could never understand why Arthur, the large red tank engine, could enjoy the smell of fish. Arthur was in charge of the line that ran to the Norrumby fishing village. Every day he would be up at the crack of dawn preparing the trucks filled with fish, freshly caught from the fishermen. Arthur loved his job.
Oh yeah, I should mention that Arthur also appeared in the 10th series learning segment. Was it 9th or 10th series learning segment where he helped Thomas?
And ever since his early days on Sodor, he would never trade his work for anything else. I think it's a rather smelly and silly job, Thomas would often say when Arthur brought his trucks to the docks. I don't mind it at all, Arthur would reply.
He absolutely loves the smell of fish.
It makes me feel really useful in my own way. Ever since he had been given the Norrumby line by the Fat Controller, Arthur had never dreamed of trading it for any other work at all. One evening, Arthur was being cleaned at the washdown near Knapford Sheds. Salty was just telling him about the day's work at the docks. At that moment, the Fat Controller arrived on board Murdoch. "Ah, Arthur," he boomed, "I thought I'd find you here. I have an important job for you in the morning." "Of course, sir. What can I do for you?" asked Arthur politely. "Henry was supposed to collect a huge load of girders tomorrow from the smelters," said the Fat Controller.
"Girders?
"But he's been called away. Could I rely on you to take the special instead?" Yes, sir," said Arthur, sounding a little nervous. "Wonderful," said the Fat Controller. "Thank you, Arthur. I knew I could..."
Wasn't it in the game, the Arthur Tricky Travels game, was that he had to pick up some of Henry's special coal from Brendam Docks? I really thought that Arthur would have had to pick up coal from the coaling plant and take it to Brendam Docks, but no, he's having to go to the smelter's yard. Oh, no wonder Arthur's a little bit nervous. I mean, you try and run into Ari and Bert at the smelters, they'll make sure to try and scrap you.
"Could rely on you." He turned and went to see the other engines in the shed. "But what about my fishing work?" said Arthur. "I can't leave that behind." "Dinna worry about the fishing village," said Murdoch. "I'll look after it for you. Apart from the seagulls, it'll be nice to look out to the sea." Arthur was still worried, though. This was the first time since he had been on the Normanby branch that he was going to be away from it. And that made him feel rather anxious.
I really do wish we would have seen a story with Arthur and Murdoch together. I just don't know why, or is it just me? Given the fact that Murdoch maybe it could have been a story where Murdoch had to pull the flying kip, Arthur had to pull the flying kipper for Henry in his absence, and he loves to fish, but the train's too heavy for Arthur. So the Fat Controller decides to make the flying kipper for the time being a double header, and Arthur and Murdoch have to work together, and they're not fond of it at first, but they get used to it.
Arthur woke up as early as he could the next day and headed off to the smelters. He wanted to be back at the fishing village in good time, as he loved seeing the sunrise over the sea.
Yep.
All was going well until Arthur reached the main line. All of a sudden, his driver applied the brakes.
Ooh.
There ahead was a cartload of hay with a wheel missing. "Oh, bother," Arthur groaned. "We were doing so well, too." Just as Arthur thought he had a long wait ahead of him, a whistle sounded up ahead.
Trevor the traction engine.
The traction engine.
Trevor was the right option in the game.
He was holding a spare wooden wheel under his arm. "Hello, Arthur," called Trevor. "Sorry about that. One of the cart's wheels broke off as we crossed the tracks. I had to go back to the orchard to get a spare one." "That's all right," said Arthur gloomily. "Take your time." Within moments, Jem had fixed the new wheel onto the cart. Trevor was hitched up and the traction engine pulled the cart away. "Thank you, Trevor," called Arthur, and he carried on his way, hoping to get to the smelters quicker than before. Just when Arthur thought all was going well, he found himself being slowed down again. "What's the matter now?" he groaned. It didn't take long for him to realise. Right in front of him was a huge oak tree which had blown over. Harvey the crane engine was already there, picking up the branches one by one. "Oh, this'll take forever," Arthur groaned. "Why, you're in some sort of hurry?" asked Harvey. Arthur told him about his job and the fact he didn't want to leave the fishing village. "I know the feeling," sympathised Harvey. "Before I came to Soldor, I used to live up at the waterworks. I didn't feel like leaving there."
Yeah, because Harvey apparently did come from a bit of a waterworks on the mainland. He did, because he was obviously a useful crane engine. The waterworks right there, and he took a while for Harvey to get. You saw in Harvey to the Rescue, you saw how difficult it was him to fit in with Soda, but he eventually settled in to his new surroundings.
To be honest, but now I can consider this a much better place to be, and I enjoy my job more than ever. Before long,
great to hear.
Harvey had cleared the tree off the line. "Thank you, Harvey," said Arthur hastily, and he darted off down the line as fast as he could. "Be careful," called Harvey, but Arthur was too far away to hear.
This is not going to end too good.
Arthur was more determined to get to the smelters and be back at the fishing
it's that big
village.
rock!
He had missed his chance of the perfect sunrise now. He just wanted to get back and see the sparkling water and the boats gliding across the sea. He was too busy thinking about the scenery when suddenly...
"Look out for the big rock!"
shouted his driver and applied the brakes once again. "Hooah!" Arthur wailed. Before long, he came to a complete stop.
Phew.
Right in front of him, and just a few inches from his buffers, was a large slab of rock. Arthur looked frantically around, but couldn't see anyone to help.
Oh dear.
"Oh, well, that's it then," he sighed miserably. "We're never going to get back to the fishing village now." "Never say never, Arthur," said his driver.
Yep,
"We passed the telephone box not too far back. We'll call for help." The driver and fireman stepped down from Arthur's cab and went to the telephone. Arthur sat miserably, looking at the large slab of rock, wondering who would be strong enough to move it when help did come.
Harold, because he was the option in the game.
A few minutes later, Arthur's crew came back with smiles on their faces.
Perfect bold prediction right there.
"Help is coming," they said. but you'll be surprised who they've sent out." Arthur started to guess who would come to the rescue. Terence wouldn't be able to move such a boulder. And even the strongest engines like Gordon or Murdoch wouldn't be able to pull the rock clear off the line.
No.
Just as Arthur was wondering who had been sent, there was a loud buzzing sound from above.
Harold the helicopter.
Jack. Arthur looked up, and there was Harold the helicopter. "Heard you've got some rocky business," Harold called. His pilot threw down
Rocky
some chains,
business.
which Arthur's crew fastened around the rock. Arthur stared in bewilderment as Harold lifted the piece of rock off the line and gently down out of harm's way. "Thank you, Harold," gasped Arthur. "Good to be of service," Harold replied, and he buzzed away.
He'll do anything.
Arthur soon reached the smelters without any more mishap. He managed to deliver the girders in good time and was even more delighted when he was allowed to head back to the fishing village. Not only did Arthur hope that Murdoch had kept his word about looking after the village, but he was looking forward to the tranquility of the many fishing boats, the smell of fish, and the sparkling waters of the one place he called home, the Norranby branch line.
That it? Wow. That would definitely have made a good hit era episode right there. Even though it probably would have used the 3 strikes formula, I still do think that it would have made a good episode, particularly for Series 9, since this one, it took place for this one right here. So yeah, good job, Arthur, good job. Well, you have to thank Trevor, Harvey, and Harold for your help right there. If only there were more episodes like that in the hit era where it didn't focus on the Steam Team. Like, I know the Steam Team was the main cast, but maybe you could have devoted one of the episodes. I mean, I don't hate the hit era, but I just wish they would have done that. Just had episodes that didn't focus on the Steam Team, but how a Steam Team character interact with a character like Arthur or Murdoch or someone. And like I said, I still do wish that Arthur and Murdoch were interacted in an episode together. But nevertheless, this was still a good, enjoyable story. I can't believe that Kiefer was able to make an episode based off the Arthur's Tricky Travels game. I was not expecting that whatsoever, but I'm pretty sure to many people it brought back a lot of memories from playing that game. And when you had to choose the right option, you did right there, but some of the wrong options were pretty funny, nevertheless, to say the least. It was pretty funny when you collect the wrong options on purpose to see what it would have been. But yeah, this was definitely a good episode, audio story. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I can't wait for the one that's coming out on this Sunday called Sir Handel and Buster, where the engines of the Skarloey Railway interact with the Sodal Construction Company, and Sir Handel meets Buster and then has a flashback to his experience with George. So can't wait for that. This definitely would have made a good episode in the hit era. Arthur episode in the hit era, and yeah, that's basically what I've got to say. If you do want to check out my previous Thomas reactions whenever it's an audio story or a trends adaptation, then there's going to be a playlist coming up in the top right corner of your screen right now. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button for me. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this Thomas audio story that I reacted to. Also, let me know in the comments down below what other videos you want me to react to next. Follow me on Instagram. Links to that be in the description down below. Share this video, subscribe if you're new here, ring that bell to get notified when I upload new videos or when I post in the community tab. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!